So a week ago, I started a game on my Instagram where I asked all of you to tell me what you wanted me to make on my YouTube channel. You had 24 hours to like a comment, leave a comment, and whatever comment had the most likes was what I was gonna make. The comment that won was BAO buns. So this episode, you are gonna get super pillowy BAO buns, sesame tallow fried chicken, maybe the most delicious quick pickled cucumbers, quickles, quick pickled red onions, and a spicy mayo. It's amazing. So let's do it. To a small saucepan, add 1 cup whole milk and 1/4 cup filtered water. Set that over medium-low heat until the temperature reaches between 90 and 95 degrees. Don't go higher because you will kill your yeast. To that, add 3 tablespoons white granulated sugar, 3 teaspoons of dry active yeast, and give that a little mixy mix and just set it over to the side. We need 360 grams of all-purpose flour. It's 3 cups, but weighing it out is going to be way more precise, and with something like BAO buns, you want it to be precise. Add in 1 1/4 teaspoon baking powder and 1 teaspoon Diamond Crystal Kosher salt. Give it a mix, and at this point, your yeasty mix should be frothy. Take your rings off, because we're responsible, and pour in your yeasty mix. Start by just tossing it around. It's gonna be really wet and sticky. The rubaud method, what I'm doing here, just kind of like slapping it around really helps. And then just use a bowl scraper, dump it all out, flour your hands, and do the slap and fold method. Each time rotating at 90 degrees, and it's gonna feel like it's never gonna come together. But if you use your bowl scraper to kind of coax it into a ball, it will smooth out. Cover that with your bowl, set a timer for 10 minutes, and then once that 10 minutes is done, it will be so much easier to knead. Don't forget to flour your hands and just knead it for literally like 1 minute. Use your bowl scraper one more time to coax it into that ball, and just put it over to the side, cover it with the bowl one more time, and set a timer for 1 hour. All right, let's prep these red onions. All we have to do is slice these in 1/4 inch little half moons using either a bowl or a mason jar. Add 1 cup of water, 1/4 cup rice wine vinegar, 1/4 cup apple cider vinegar, 1 teaspoon Diamond Crystal Kosher salt, 1 tablespoon white granulated sugar, and 1 star anise. It's not totally necessary, but it does lend a good flavor. Put the lid on, give it a shake, and then add your red onions. These are best if you can prep them the day or 2 before, because the color is going to deepen and the flavors are really going to develop. Let's prep our quickles. To another mason jar, add 2 tablespoons water, 1/4 cup rice wine vinegar, 1 tablespoon sugar, 1 teaspoon salt, about a 1/4 teaspoon red pepper flake, 1 clove of garlic grated, and 1 inch of ginger root grated. Put the lid on, give it a little shake, and I like to use an English cucumber because it has these ridges and it just makes it really aesthetic and pretty. Slice those on a bias as thin as you can get, and then chop your chives into little teeny tiny chivy tubes. Add it all to the jar, give it a little toss to fully coat everything, and pop it in the fridge. Okay, let's talk chicken. Need about 2 pounds of chicken breast, and just fold that up in plastic wrap to kind of keep it contained. And using a pot, a mallet, whatever, pound it to about 1/2 inch thick and just place it on a wire rack. Get 3 bowls for a dredging station. In the first bowl, you are going to do about 1 cup all-purpose flour. In the third one, do about 1 cup panko and 1/4 cup white sesame seeds. In the middle, 2 eggs, and whisk that up, but then remember you need to add 2 tablespoons of water. Whisk it, season everything with salt and pep, mix it again, and you are good to dredge. So remember, 1 dry hand and 1 wet hand, shaking off the excess in between each sort of turn. When you get to the panko, create a little handle for yourself by putting it on the top, patting it in, and you really want to make sure that you're pressing the panko in to fully adhere it. Panko City, baby. And then just put it back on that wire rack. Repeating the dredging station with your other 2 pieces, or however many pieces you have, and set it over to the side. And people, please wash your station. Okay, it is dough time. Pat it out and just sprinkle it with some flour. We're gonna roll this baby out to about 1/4 inch thickness. It doesn't have to be too precise, but try. Okay, equipment-wise, you're gonna need 2 half sheets, preferably one with taller sides as a lid, a 3 to 4 inch round cookie cutter, and about 20 pieces of 3 by 4 inch parchment. Just taking a little bit of flour, coat your little cookie cutter, and just start stamping out rounds. Gonna gather all that excess, just put it over to the side and get all of those pieces out of the way. Make sure that they're coated in flour and then smush all that excess together. We're gonna roll it out again. Coat it in flour, roll it. It's gonna give you a little bit of a harder time this round, but just stamp out a couple more pieces, and then we're gonna make donuts. So take this final excess and just cut it in half. So it's not much. Give yourself kind of like a little pocket for it. Add a couple of chocolate chips, pinch it together. Use the tension of the counter to kind of bring it into a ball, and there you go, little mini donuts. Back to business. You're gonna need some olive oil and a pastry brush. Just roll out each individual circle to be about a 3 by 4 inch oval. Using your pastry brush, brush on some olive oil and then fold that baby in half. Place that on a piece of parchment and place it on your sheet tray. And do your best to keep your bao from looking like this. You want all of the edges to align together. It'll just create a much more aesthetically pleasing bao. So once everything is rolled out, lined up, little bao army, cover it with that other sheet tray or plastic wrap, whatever you have, set a timer for 10 minutes, and let's talk steamers. I don't have a steamer, I have this. And technically it's like a pasta strainer thing where the strainer goes in the pot part, but what I do is add a little bit of water to the bottom, put the strainer part in, put the lid on, and then it steams it. It works, it's enough. I love it. If you have a steamer, use it. Either way, get your steaming vessel steaming. After the 10 minutes, your bao should be slightly puffed up and ready for the first batch to go in. Carefully place your bao in your steamer, making sure that they're not overlapping. Once everything is in one layer, cover that baby and set a timer for 10 minutes. And while those are steaming, let's heat up our tallow. You want to add enough to your cast iron pan to have about a 1/2 inch depth of oil. And while that is heating up, let's make our spicy mayo. For that, you're gonna need about 1/4 cup mayonnaise, 1 tablespoon sriracha, and 1 tablespoon of lime juice. So I added all of this to my blender, but as you can see, it stayed a little clumpy. So just add it to your squeezy bottle or bowl, shake it up, stir it, and embrace the clumps. I don't know. By now, your tallow should be nice and hot, so add your chicken in facing away from you. We don't need any splatters on ourselves. And would you look at that? The timer's going off for the buns, so turn the burner off, leave the lid on, and just let them hang out for another 4 minutes. Now let's make our cinnamon sugar topping for those little bonus donuts. Just add a couple tablespoons sugar and a couple dashes of cinnamon, mix it together with your finger, and it's done. And speaking of done, your chicken should be ready to flip. Look at that crispy golden crunch. And that was about 3 minutes on the first side, and we're gonna do 3 minutes on the other side. And that additional 4 minutes should be done now, so just prop the lid open, let the steam release slowly, and then behold your bao buns. Line them all up on like a baking sheet and pop them in the oven with the oven turned off, the light turned on, or on the proving setting. And by now, your first piece of chicken should be fully cooked, so just remove that from the oil and repeat the same cooking process with your other 2 pieces. Once all of the chicken is cooked, strain out the oil into a smaller pot because we're gonna fry our little baby donuts. The oil isn't gonna come all the way up. You can obviously add extra like I did, but just do your best to kind of like flip it around, make sure that there aren't any pale spots. And these are going over medium-high heat. Once again, these are just extras, so don't overthink it. And then do as I say, not as I do. Remove both of them at the same time and then coat them in sugar. Not like what I'm doing where that one is just sitting in the oil and burning, but look at how pretty they are. We're gonna open this baby up just so that you can see the inside. It is so tender. I probably could have added more chocolate, but hey, it's an extra tallow fried donut. Look at how pillowy. Okay, I ate this whole entire thing for lunch, I'm just gonna be honest. And that was the final thing. Everything is done. As you can see here, the red onions did develop more color even over just the couple hours that I was cooking, but of course the ones that were made beforehand are obviously richer in color. And voila! I do want to point out though, the bun on the left was the first batch that I steamed, so it had 10 minutes of rise time. The bun on the right had about 40 minutes of rise time because it was the third batch that I baked. Both are still soft, still pillowy. I just want you to be aware that the longer they rise, the thicker and fluffier they're gonna get. And this one sort of collapsed on top. This can happen when too much steam is released too quickly. Just keep that in mind. Go ahead and chop up your chicken into about 1/2 inch long strips, and then we are gonna assemble. I like to do a longer piece as the first one, a slightly shorter one as the second, and you can kind of like tuck them up under each other just so that the flesh and the crust is showing. Give your pickles a little toss to fully coat again, and I like about 2 pickles per little bao bun. Add your red onions, add some cilantro, and then spicy mayo. And then remember that cilantro should go on after the spicy mayo, so add more cilantro, and boom, you got bao buns. I'm just gonna call it what it is, and it's a major success. The contrast between the like super airy, pillowy, sweet buns mixed with this like sesame seed, panko, tallow fried chicken, quick pickle cucumbers, the red onions, and I will say, even if you don't do it the day before, they'll still be delicious. Spicy mayo, OMG. Let's eat it. Oh my God. Stupid good. And don't for a moment think I forgot about this. I already ate an entire one. Like it was a little bit more burnt because I was worried about coating this one in sugar, so it wasn't gonna be like pretty for the camera. And I didn't eat lunch today, so I ate the whole thing. My lunch was a tallow fried bao bun chocolate donut. No regrets. It got a little tough after sitting for a while, but I assure you, it was 10 out of 10 out of 10 right out of the oven. Fryer, oil, pot, pan. Y'all said bao buns, and I delivered. Next level, so good. So thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, I seriously appreciate it. Don't forget to click the like and subscribe because I know it's really annoying, but it really helps the algorithm. So thank you so much, and I will see you on the next one.